Francis Bacon lived from 1561 to 1626 and had political, social, and scientific impacts. Politically, he served as first Viscount St. Albans, Attorney General and Lord Chancellor of England, and many other smaller offices. However, his political career ended in disgrace, and so he began focusing on the sciences and philosophy. In De Interpretatione Naturae Peroneum, he establishes his goals, which are the discovery of truth and service to his country and church. Though, oddly enough, he separates religion from philosophy. He published many works during the last 5 years of his life, but most were fragmented, and his theories were spread in a haphazard manner across all of his pieces. Bacon studied Aristotle extensively and loved the man but didn't agree with his philosophy. We can see his love for Aristotle in the fact that Bacon has categories for everything, much like Aristotle. Bacon built on the linguistic theory of Augustine, basically working to purify language by extending its roots into faculties to trace better representations of the world. He also expanded the dialectical approach of Ramus, whose contribution to rhetoric in the philosophic community was the idea that knowledge comes from elsewhere, such as science or experience, and that rhetoric and language are just dressing, or how we express it. This may sound very much like Plato, but Plato's elsewhere was the nominal world. However, Bacon did expand on Plato's vision of the will as charioteer of the soul. Because of Ramus's idea, many beginning with Bacon became concerned with epistemology, which is basically how we know what we know, and how our minds work, which is through sensory perceptions and experience. Bacon's 5 functions of the mind are understanding, reason, imagination, appetites, and will. Bacon is accredited with the Baconian or scientific method, as he believes science is but an image of truth. His scientific method is based on his belief that induction implies drawing knowledge from the natural world through experimentation, observation, and testing of hypotheses, which in his times these methods were connected to occult trends of Hermeticism and alchemy. Bacon's rhetorical impact was in applying reason to imagination for the better moving of the will, and by imagination he means impressions and ideas. We can see his propensity for restating the same ideas in multiple tests by the different terms and explanations we get from his different works, starting with his 4 processes of the brain, or the human functions, or the art of language, starting with the art of inquiry or invention, where we seek to discover ideas and how things work. We propose hypotheses and link ideas and objects similar to each other. The art of examination or judgment is where we judge what is invented, we take ideas and objects apart to analyze them, we assess their worth, and we employ standards of scientific and artistic merit. The art of custody or memory is to recall ideas and maintain custody over them. We remember the ideas and the objects, and we relive the events. The art of elocution or tradition is transmitting thought into knowledge, the way we dress ideas and words to make them comprehensible to others, and we make comparisons to make our ideas clear to others. Under this 4th art, we see more divisions in his views of communication, the 3 of traditions. The organization of tradition is the study of discourse and contains grammar, vocabulary, and diction, including delivery as voice and articulation. The methods of tradition are rules for judgment, organization, planning, and logic. And the illustration of tradition is rhetoric, defined as arguments on probability, imaginative proofs, ethos, and style. Bacon studied language, how it functions, and how it reveals the way we learn things. He believed language is for communicating scientific knowledge. Therefore, rhetoric is to recall and explain what has been discovered, and there needs to be an emphasis on eloquence, clarity, delivery, and avoidance of idols. Not the religious idols. These are more fallacies or the way the use of language has been corrupted or distorted the truth, as he specifies 4 of them. The idols of the tribes are common for all humans because they are flaws in innate human nature. They can never be completely eliminated, so they must be recognized and compensated for. These are broad generalizations of a group of people, in a word, stereotypes, or the way our senses can be easily deceived, or how humans try and discern more order than is there, or a tendency towards wishful thinking, how we accept, believe, and attempt to prove what we prefer to believe in the way that we rush to conclusions or premature judgment. Idols of the den or cave vary from individuals because they arise from culture. These are distortions, prejudice, and beliefs that we are subject to owing to our different family backgrounds, childhood experiences, education, training, gender, religion, social class, etc. Basically, a person's limited experiences because of their environment. Cultural hindrances. Idols of the marketplace are hindrances to clear thinking caused by language because of the use of slang or colloquial phrases or jargon, such as what doctors use. Idols of the theater are culturally acquired as well and are artificial imitations of the truth derived from grand schemes or systems of philosophy, especially sophistical philosophies based on only a few casual observed instances, empirical, which are the single key insight base for a philosophy, or superstitious, which is any mixing of theology and philosophy. In a sentence, theater idols are logical fallacies that cause us to believe what we hear. Rhetoric also provides the images and style that imagination needs in order to achieve a unifying transcendence that defeats an argument from pure reason. Like many of the medieval rhetoricians, Bacon believed that we descend into rhetoric, and that it is decorative flattery and incapable of producing new knowledge. But that eloquence prevails in civic life, and delivery is crucial to carrying one's message. and that civic knowledge is highly dependent on communication that was composed of conversation, negotiation, and government. His famous quote, "Knowledge is power," is written in his Meditationes Sacrae. So, if a man will begin with certainties, he shall end in doubts. But if he content to begin with doubts, he shall end in certainties. I hope this has helped you learn Bacon a little better, and if your head has not exploded by now, congratulations to you.